So what's the thing here about where I saw on Twitter you put a hashtag that you called them King of the Marks? What went down with that?
Because we just had, we had a discussion that he refers to himself as like not a mark, right, and like he'll call Meltzer and those guys marks, and I'm like, well, they're doing the exact. I mean, you're doing even worse. To go, all they're doing is making money, talking about wrestling. I said, you watch the shows, you actually record yourself watching the shows for people to listen. You do about a 2-hour podcast on a review of the shows. And you're painting the dirt sheet writers with paint trying to sell them. I'm like, and I go, you can't. How are you not just a? And
not only that,
like the epicenter of the wrestling bubble.
Marks, right?
He tried to say he's not in the wrestling bubble,
right?
And I said, bro, let me see a question. I go, fine. I told him, hey, come meet my friend. He draws pictures of wrestling journalists, paintings. Right. I go, well, what do you think a normal person would think of that person? They think he's like a mark, like an obsessed fan, right? Yeah. Well, that's exactly what he is. So.
Well, I saw the hashtag and I wasn't sure where it came from. Yeah.
Do me a favor. Call Vince.
What's up, Vince?
Vince,
what's going on, bro?
Are you on Vince? Tell us about your Twitch adventures that you've been
bro.
How does this work?
I had an unbelievable night last night.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Conan. We had a spin the wheel, make the deal.
Right.
And people had to bid 2,500 bits to get a chance to spin the wheel.
Right.
I had on the wheel an original painting of your choice.
Right.
I had on the wheel a signed jersey that I wore at WCW.
Right.
I had an autographed magazine cover.
Was
from
it the same jersey that you used during the Jeff Jarrett Hogan fiasco?
Yes. Not that one, but one I had worn on the show.
All right.
I had a magazine cover when I was editor of the WWE magazine, signed by Goldust and Marlena.
Right.
And then I had various other things like, phone calls. I would do a video for you where I would cut a promo on somebody, various other things.
Can I tell you my favorite thing of yours that I've seen that I had never seen in my life till maybe a month ago?
What was that?
I am a big fan of Vic Venom and whatever you were wearing. You were wearing this thing that had like flames on it. That what was it? A hat or what was it that you had?
I had a hat. I had a cape. I had flames on the pants. The whole 9 yards, bro.
Yeah. That's over with me. Just so you know.
I also on the wheel, bro. Was I took it right off my couch. One of those poop pillows, and I autographed it right off my couch.
Right.
And bro, 2,500 bits to take a spin, bro. When all this was said and done, the brand paid up 150,000 bits.
How much is that in money?
That is $1,500.
Hey man, that's great. Like I said, congratulations.
Yeah, just sitting there watching SummerSlam, rapping with.
Let me ask you a question.
The wheel. Yeah.
Would you help a brother podcast out?
Of course.
Okay, so we've always had a little bit of interaction since the podcast. Who started first, us or you?
I think I started first because remember, bro, when I started, you weren't in podcasting at all.
Yeah, I was.
No, he was doing MLW. He's in the MLW.
No, I don't think you were, bro. You were thinking about it because you and I had a couple conversations where you were picking my brain and you were going to go into it, but you weren't into it yet.
Well, maybe he was just guesting on MLW though. He was guesting on MLW, like he wasn't the host.
Yeah. You want to know what it was about doing your own show and all that,
right?
Jazz. Yeah,
right. Yeah, but I was in MLW like in 2012. Which was me, Court Bauer, and this guy called MSL. Right. So I'd already doing podcasts. I was probably talking to you when I was going to start my own podcast.
Yes. Yeah, because I started, bro, probably about 2013.
Okay. Well, let's get to the nitty-gritty here.
Let me ask you a question. Would you make a painting of us, of Disco, and we will auction it here on the show, and we make sure that we don't give him any proceeds?
Oh, yeah, definitely, bro. As long as he doesn't get any proceeds, I'll be happy to do it, bro.
And I'm the louse. Okay? Besides that, there's another thing I want to talk about. Conan asked me when we were just doing the disco list here, and basically, and you are on the disco list, by the way. Your brand members and your paintings are all on disco.
Don't forget the singing.
Yeah, the singing's atrocious too. So Conan asked me, he goes, "What's this thing I saw on Twitter where, like you said, that Vince was the king of marks?" And I explained to him that basically, since you call all these dirt sheet guys marks, and even though they're still making money in the wrestling business and you'll write about it, that you take it a step further, okay? That you watch the show, you watch Raw every week and SmackDown.
Right. You
record people. You record yourself watching the show so people can watch you watching the show. You do over a 2-hour review of the show, almost as long as the show itself, and you paint pictures. You paint paintings of the dirt sheet guys. I said, not only are you like just in the wrestling bubble, but you are like the epicenter of the wrestling bubble and are the king of the marks. Okay, because if you told, like, if your wife had friends over and they didn't know what you did, they didn't know anything about wrestling. And she explained to them, is that his answer machine?
Yeah.
Ah, damn. If she explained to them what you did for a living, they would conclude that you were a mark and like a troubled individual.
Vince, before you answer that, Joe.
Yes.
Joe.
Yeah.
Can you call Pat again?
Oh, Vince left.
We lost.
I'd like to leave him a message. See if you can get Vince back on so I can bury him.
He hung up on you. He'd had enough.
Oh, he did?
Russo, yeah, he hung up.
It's because he's probably starting the show.
He had enough of your browbeat.
Yeah, you cut out. You were saying something about my wife.
Okay, wait a minute.
Listen, let me finish.
Joe, when he's finished, call Pat because I want to leave him a message.
It's ringing. Yeah.
Okay. I said if your wife was going to describe to friends of hers what you did for a living, they would be very disturbed.
Yeah.
And especially if you showed them the Ric Flair painting.
Hi, this is Pat Kenny. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Yo, Pat, these are 4 good friends of yours. Conan, Disco, Jojo Feeney, and Vince Russo were here. We just want to let you know that Vince came on the show and he 100% corroborated that it was your idea in 2000.
That's how I heard it.
October of 2006.
You came up with what's voted as the worst worked match of 2006 by The Observer, the Reverse Battle Royal. And Vince Russo was there and he can attest to this. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. Have a nice day.
It's been confirmed.
Yes.
Okay, now, can I, Conan, can I put a bullet in his preposterous
Please do.
Vince Russo is a mark theory?
Yeah.
Conan, first and foremost, don't I have to like wrestling to be a mark?
Yeah, I
despise wrestling. I despise watching wrestling. I hate wrestling. Under that guise, how could I possibly be a mark?
Based on all the evidence, because if you hate wrestling, why do you watch the shows? If you hate wrestling, why do you do hour-long reviews of the shows? If you hate wrestling, why are you painting Bruce Mitchell?
Make my living. That's how I make my living, bro.
Why did you paint Wade Keller?
Because I knew I got $152 for Wade Keller on Saturday, bro. That's why I painted Wade Keller.
Can I ask you a question on
money from you, by the way? And listen to this. Listen what this dirtbag does. Okay,
right.
He goes on and he does a show called 8 Day. When I hang up, okay, like Vince has all these other shows he does in the brand. Like how many shows do you have each week, Vince?
Oh God, a dozen.
Okay, this guy actually. Okay, so I buried him on one of his shows.
Right.
Okay. And Vince went on Twitter after I buried him on one of his shows. I just pummeled him into submission with one of our arguments. Forget which one exactly it was.
Oh God!
Vince goes on Twitter and says, due to his imbecilic comments on Lion, Tigers, and Bears this week, to the real Disco Inferno, I must paint you now.
Right.
Okay. So I buried him on the show, and him getting revenge on me was to go and paint me.
Right.
Okay. So I played along with it and stuff. And stuff everything. And Vince was going to basically try and say that since I'm playing along with the gimmick here and stuff and all that, Vince was going to keep all of the money from the painting.
Right.
Okay. I pointed out to him, okay, that basically, hey, anybody else I know, like in our business or anybody from New York, I would give a cut of if I was doing it purposely to embarrass them and make money off it. Okay, especially somebody on their show. Vince ends up giving me like $100 extra bucks.
Right.
Okay. He made $700 on the penny, way more than anything. Right. And because I was going to wait to come on the show and publicly thank him, but he jumped. He could not wait after he sent me the PayPal email that I obviously did not respond fast enough to thank him. Right. And he went on his show and buried me. Right. Okay. For not thanking him, for giving him a few extra bucks, for giving me a few extra bucks, for humiliating me. Okay.
This is what I think.
Okay.
You should wait. I'm thinking. Right now, you need all the relevancy that you can use, and I think he did a great job of promoting you. You should thank. And I'm surprised he even gave you $100.
Yep. $100.
And if you're trying to get the pies on. You're trying to get the pies on. Vince doesn't work like that, bro. He's a businessman. You know what? I'm going to give you respect for one thing, Vince, because how many shows do you have right now?
All together?
Yeah.
God, bro, I do about the brand does about 12 shows.
But how many are you on?
Oh my God, bro. Well, I'm on Twitch every single day, bro. We do shows for Patreon and I probably do 5 shows a week on the brand.